That's like, oh.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast. I'm Jay Zawaski with Greg Boysen and Mario Tirabassi. Thanks for being with us. Big show today. We've got our pals Pete Blackburn and DJ Bean from the What Chaos Show standing by. We're going to do some around the league and some Blackhawks with them. And we've also got some very important and insightful sound from Luke Richardson to get to later in the show. Before we bring in Pete and DJ, make sure you smash that like button for us on the YouTube page. Make sure you are subscribed there as well. Podcast listeners, follow, subscribe, like, all that stuff. And a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify would be appreciated. And you only have a few hours left to take advantage of our big merch sale at chgolocker.com.
Do it now.
30% off until the end of the evening. So jump in there, take advantage, stock up on some merch.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you, Mario.
You should stock up on some merch.
Buy one of each.
Buy our shirts, buy our hoodies, buy our hats, beanies.
The whole schmear.
Everything.
Yep.
Pint glasses.
Maybe Nick Foligno can buy one for himself and give me mine back. All right, let's bring in Pete and DJ from the What Chaos Show. Wanted to get these guys on. We like to do it Wednesdays when the Hawks don't play, but especially today. A couple days ago, DJ, you proposed something very interesting about Seth Jones, and it got my mind reeling a little bit, and I'm going to give you the floor to present your idea, and we can sort of talk amongst ourselves about it.
Hell yeah, appreciate it. In short, if I'm a team that needs defense, I'm calling the Blackhawks and seeing if they hate the Seth Jones contract as much as you, the listener, the viewer, the fan, the talking head, the whomever does. Because if the Blackhawks have any designs on getting away from that thing, if I'm a team that wants defense going into the playoffs and has some money, which the money I have to figure out because no one has money right now, I am for sure taking Seth Jones at a discounted rate.
Okay, so this has been the thing, and I'll say most of the people that would identify themselves as diehard Hawks fans can recognize Seth Jones's value and what he brings to the team. They know he's a number one, but probably in a lower tier of the number one defenseman. He's probably overpaid by $1 million and a half, but they're willing to accept it. But I think this opportunity that you're presenting, and on the show, I think you said the Hawks could retain, $2 million of the $9.5 to make it work.
Yeah, we settled on 2 because they're going to have cap space for a while anyway, which obviously can be argument for, then why don't you just eat it and deal with it? If they think the contract's going to age poorly and they know that, look, like when they got Seth Jones, they weren't planning on getting Connor Bedard. They didn't think that they were going to have a $15 million player coming down the pike. So that's why I throw it out there.
It's very interesting because I do think while the Hawks are happy with what Seth Jones brings, I also think they're aware of the albatross of the contract that is. And I think for $2 million a year, they would gladly dispatch that $7.5 extra million off their salary cap. And I know it will hurt them in the short to middle term of that deal. Like, they're a better team with him, obviously. But I think, like you said, DJ, looking ahead to when Connor Bedard's going to need that next contract, cap space is going to become an issue soon, especially if these prospects that are so highly rated pan out to be, even if half of them hit, you're going to need a lot of that money.
That Wyatt Kaiser deal is going to be nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
Vlasic.
I mean, I land on this side of number one, that trade is never going to happen. The most interesting trade proposal that we got in return was Jeff Skinner for Seth Jones, which would be hilarious because it would result in the Buffalo Sabres paying their top 3 defensemen like $30 million collectively. Otherwise, I just don't see the Blackhawks. They need more good defensemen, not subtract one of the few that they actually have. And if you're eating $2 million for the next 6 years, you're going to have to go out and get a number one defenseman, and you're going to have to pay that guy, and then you're going to have to add $2 million onto whatever you pay that guy because you have dead money on the cap.
Not if they think they have a number one defenseman. Not if they think that one of the young defensemen that they have is going to become a number one defenseman, and then for probably 5 to 6 years, you're not paying number one defenseman on that. And like that's why you can afford that. I also agree. I get mad at how often Pete says this is never going to happen. Obviously, it's never going to happen. We're being more creative than GMs, though, because you look around and you say, well, he's got 6 more years left on this deal. He's got a full no move. This would never happen. Players do waive no moves. They waive no trade clauses. Again, I don't think it's going to happen. The question is this something that would make sense for anybody to do? And I definitely think that it can be an exercise in Blackhawks fans realizing like it's not so bad that you have this guy.
As a player, Seth Jones is a desirable defenseman. Most teams would want him in their top pair or top 4 at the very least. That is unquestionable. But because of what he is paid, he has become a lightning rod for a portion of Blackhawks fans, and honestly, unjustly most of the time. So yeah, I mean, if I don't get the sense the Blackhawks care as much about that contract as the fan base does, and I think it's something that they're fine with, because would you rather overpay a guy who's going to fill that role that you have no one to fill right now, or would you rather pay him to just not be here? And then you struggle even more. You don't have a solid defenseman to help these young players, Korchinski, Vlasic, go on down the line, all their defensive prospects. You don't have someone there that can help shelter some of those guys as they develop into pros and no longer, teenagers and 20-year-olds. Like they don't have a number one defenseman to replace Seth Jones, and they probably won't for a few years. And like Alex Vlasic, he's turning into a really good young defenseman. Is he ever going to be a number one? I don't know, but he's probably going to be a really good top 4 defenseman. Is Kevin Korchinski ever going to be a true number one? I don't know, but he might be a really good top 4 guy. So until you have like that answer as like this is the next number one guy, you need someone there who can fill those shoes. So,
and if you're in the playoffs, let's say in 2 years, you want a rangy, minute-eating.
Yes.
Like Seth Jones is exactly what you do want when you're in the playoffs. You go back to his days in Columbus where you just like go eat 30, 35 minutes a night, whatever it needs to be. Like he's going to be able to do that still. He's 29 years old. He's going to be able to do that for, I would say, several more years.
I mean, he's not the problem. It's that obviously you paid him too much. That's fine. But the problem is that he hasn't really been given a fair shake in terms of what's been around him to fill the role that he's supposed to fill. I mean, look at the Oilers. Like the Darnell Nurse contract is just as bad as the Seth Jones contract, but nobody really complains about it all that much because I guess people do complain about it.
Because you're not expected to be good at defense if you're on the Oilers.
It's not as glaring a problem or like a lightning rod because the Oilers have the other pieces in place and Darnell Nurse can just play a role in which he's overpaid for, but it's fine because he's a good player on the back end.
Darnell Nurse also scores goals. And
right.
Unfortunately,
but so
Seth
do the
Jones
Oilers.
has kind of taken a break from doing that.
So do the Oilers. The entire Blackhawks team minus one line is taking a break from scoring goals this season.
Take your time, boys.
Yeah.
One guy.
Yeah.
One guy.
We're saving him for next year.
I don't think.
Hell yeah. Smart. Don't tuck
think the
yourself out. Don't
Blackhawks-
shoot your wads.
They're not peaking too early.
I don't think the Blackhawks hate the contract as much as the fans do right now. Now, Kyle Davidson is a forward-thinking GM, unlike the last guy who is the one who signed Seth Jones to this deal in the first place, trying to wedge open a window that we all knew was probably already closed. But he's the type of guy that knows, like, hey, that $9.5 million helps me reach the cap floor for these next few years, because imagine the garbage I have to bring in here just to hit the floor if I didn't have that $9.5 million. And as Mario alluded to, most of the Blackhawks NHL-ready prospects right now are all defensemen. So it's nice to have a guy like that here to help them transition. But he's also the type, Davidson's also the type of GM, if someone calls him now and says, I'll help you take that off now, I think he definitely considers it, depending on what it costs him and all that stuff, to be like, all right, because 4 years from now, when I really want to move it, it's probably even harder to get rid of it. So it's an interesting theory. But as Pete says, I don't think anybody's making that phone call right now.
No, and I think Seth Jones, he's very much a competitive guy and wants to win. He's endured a lot of losing in his career. So to have him around and have him be somebody who's, maybe going to be, kind of in a pissy mood in the next couple of years because of all the losing, when they get back to that point of where, you want to be competitive, you want to be contending for things, and you have more of an expectation of playing better, he's a guy that can maybe be a bit of a motivating factor for some of these young guys and be like, hey man, like, I want to stop losing. Like, let's start winning some effing games. And people can take that, one way or the other. But I think having somebody like that, that's like, I'm sick of losing, I want to friggin' win, and I'm going to do it here. That can be motivating for some guys. And
that's another reason, getting back to like what Greg said, I like it for Seth Jones because I love Seth Jones. Check out our interview with Seth Jones. It's on the YouTube. Smash the button, subscribe, do all that. He got there thinking, and it's not his fault because he also got there with a big contract, but he got there to bridge the Taves and Kane era to the young guys who probably aren't Connor Bedard, you totally restart everything era. And he got to a team that thought it was just, I don't know, down on its luck, when in reality, it was bottoming out. It was cratering. It was not a good team. It was not going to make the playoffs. And he signed on to go from one successful situation to another. And instead, he's been around for the dog, not days, the dog years. Fans can say, oh, well, yeah, well, you're making the money. You're contributing to that, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he was planning on spending this part of his career in such a losing situation. I don't think he's complaining about that, but just something to consider with, like, wouldn't you love to see him in the playoffs and doing what he's done in the postseason, playing 1 million minutes? I threw out in this crazy hypothetical, Carolina. You don't have guys signed long-term. If you dropped in Seth Jones and now Seth Jones is on a contender for the next few years, that would rock.
And we'll take Seth Jarvis. Seth for Seth.
Sure. And Seth, but a trade like that for Carolina,
for sure.
Even if it's not specifically Seth Jones to Carolina, a deal like that keeps their window open longer. Because instead of, depending on Brent Burns to give you whatever he's got left, like the Hawks did with Seabrook, you're bringing another guy who can give you kind of equivalent level. And DJ, your point about Jones coming in with kind of a different expectation than what is the current reality, a lot of guys, I think, in his situation would kind of pout and sulk about it. Instead, over the last month, Seth Jones has been playing 27, 28 minutes a night. He's ending games with 5 or 6 shots on goal and 12 shot attempts. He's been playing his ass off. Yeah. So there's been no signs of him throwing his hands up in the air and saying, this is my life for the next 6-7 years. No, he's kind of dug in, and I think he's starting to maybe embrace this mentorship role that is kind of a new thing for him now with Taves and Kane gone. So I think he's responded really well this year, despite not scoring.
He rocks.
I'm
Jones
rooting for
better
that leader than Taves and Kane.
Yes,
said it right there.
Put the statue up right now. Send him to Calgary. Calgary.
Don't fucking send him to Calgary.
Too much. That's punishment.
Send him to Calgary because Calgary will get their hands on and lock up guys that are under contract for as long as possible, just so they can't leave town.
Yeah, they're gonna redo the CBA and just be like, can we tack on more years to this long contract that the other team wants to get away from?
Yeah. Well, your guys are right. It's never going to happen, but it is fun conversation, especially he's been in because of the end of the game, the Chelios game, where he came in, had 2 shots on goal, and then Patrick Kane was off the other way.
Don't even get us started on that.
They were good shots on goal. Shut up, crybaby ass. Not you, but just...
The people that complained about him taking those shots are fucking insane. I'm
Dummies.
sorry. Absolutely insane.
The floor is yours.
I know that Connor Bedard was feet away, but the higher percentage play there is to take the open shot when you're in the slot. And the big complaint with Seth Jones for the past year or so has been he doesn't shoot the puck enough. Shoot it. And he did. The problem is that nobody covered for him.
Yeah, it's an echo in here, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. By the way, the floor is yours on that. It has been a battle that the three of us have been fighting over the last 48 hours.
Well,
and
we got Luke Richardson on our side today, so I think we win.
yeah, Luke basically said the exact same thing. We're going to play it in the second half
A little
of the
bit more
show.
eloquently, but same thing.
Yeah, he kind of went in depth on, and look, like that's the nature of 3-on-3. And Luke Richardson said as much as if you get a great scoring chance and it goes the other way, you're pretty much screwed. And he said, had Mrazek made the save on Kane, the Hawks would have been off the other way and had an equally great scoring chance. Like that's the nature of 3-on-3. So he basically said there's no one to blame. That's what happens when you're in chaos mode in a 3-on-3 overtime. Hey, that's the name of your show.
I feel like people are like, for some reason, this year is the year that people are starting to understand that's how 3-on-3 works. Where it's like, you don't score, you get scored on. I forget what game it was. I think we were talking to Zach Wierenski about this. The announcer was like, Pittsburgh playing great, like Pittsburgh really pouring it on now. They've had a scoring chance. I'm like, yeah, but they didn't score. So, and then like a second later, they got scored on. And it was like, how do you not know this is how it works? It's not good news in overtime if you create a scoring chance. It needs to go in or it's going the other way, and you're probably going to allow that goal.
Yeah, I mean, I think back to the Team North America and Sweden, one of the best 3-on-3 overtimes I've ever seen. It was chance after chance after chance after chance, and then finally Nathan McKinnon, basically gets a wide open opportunity and buries it. It's just that is just when 3-on-3 opens up, it's do or die. Like you have to score or you're at the mercy of your goalie at the other end. So
I mean, the worst 3-on-3 overtimes are the ones in which people play defense. So
right, yeah,
or regroup.
Yeah, right.
Stop fucking regrouping.
Yeah, the circle back. Yeah, that's
eventually there's going to be some sort of backcourt violation rule in 3-on-3 overtime. I imagine that's coming.
So they say they're going to talk about it. We were spitballing today. I want to pretend that there's always a board of governor meetings coming up. And because people, whenever there's something going on in hockey, they say this will be a topic at the board of governors meeting. So hopefully that's going to be a topic and they do something about it, because boy, oh boy, especially if you're at one of those games and they're looping back, regrouping. We have but 5 minutes, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Quit dicking around.
Grab ass.
No more grab ass. Exactly.
Yeah.
Spikes at center ice.
I want to ask you guys, since you're not a Bruins podcast, you're basically an Oilers podcast. We saw them be awful to the point where their coach was fired. We saw them almost set an NHL record in wins, and now they've sort of fallen back to average. So I'm kind of left feeling like I always do about the Oilers. What are they? Are they great? Are they not? Are they cup contenders? Your thoughts?
Oilers are one of the 3, 4, 5 best teams in hockey. They're also the Oilers, so they're going to run hot and cold. They're going to be a mess. If they're not performing offensively, they're toast. The question is, how do they look defensively from one week to the next? Goaltending, by and large, has been solid since they fired the coach. Stu Skinner has fallen on very hard times, but even in those games, we talked about this the other day, like his stats are horrible, but you look at that 6-game stretch he had, there were so many moments, especially in the first half of those games, where you're like, boy, it's a good thing they had Stu Skinner, because there were like 9 more goals that could have gone in. So they're sloppy defensively. They don't have any defensive stalwarts. However, just get the puck to the offensive zone, and some of the things they do on that side of the ice should be illegal. They're incredible overall.
Yeah, I mean, it also doesn't help that Connor McDavid sucks now, hasn't scored in like a calendar year. Yeah. He only has 500 assists. It's pretty embarrassing.
If I'm another GM, I'm calling Edmonton saying, do you hate this contract as much as the rest of us do? Yeah. Will you eat $2 million?
Oilers need defense. Seth Jones for Connor McDavid. Yeah. Who says no?
There you go. Exactly.
Who says
win-win.
No?
Yeah. I mean, like, part of the beauty of the Oilers show is that when you buy a ticket, you don't know what you're going to get on any given night. So I'm glad that things have kind of come back down to earth for the Oilers, where they're not the worst team in the world. They're not the best team in the world. They're somewhere in the middle. And depending on what night it is, they might be closer to the worst. And another night that might be very close to the best. That's the beauty of the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, and they just, I mean, this is the time of the year where, maybe that switch goes back down to off, and then guys on that team are able to flip it back on at the right time, and you get hot, and you go you get into the postseason with McDavid on a run.
I had half a mind there to be like, what? Nugent Hopkins was just out for a few games. That's it. He was just hurt, and everything's going to be amazing. They looked mighty good against the Kings. They ceded the first goal the other night, but Jim Hiller and the Kings, I think, were largely responsible for starting that skid. Oilers lost their minds once they lost that game against the Kings, but they're starting to get back, and we'll find out on Wednesday night when they take on the Blues in the stupidly scheduled 8:30 p.m. Eastern Conference start time.
7:30 for these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no,
that's
we're in the
perfect for
U.S.
us.
You're in Chicago, so that's 7:30 for y'all.
That's normal puck drop for Hawks.
Yeah, that's
we have to deal with a 9 p.m. Eastern start for a home game against the Avalanche on Thursday, which will be on national television. So
What?
Okay,
yeah.
Board of Governors
What?
meetings discuss doing weird ass times that don't make. I'll take
So
a
it's-
weird ass like in the Eastern or Eastern Standard Time. I will take a 10 p.m. start if it is playing. No, if it's being played in Los Angeles.
Oh,
I understand that. So it's a 7 p.m. start over there. We're doing things like tonight where it's 8:30 Eastern, so it's 5:30. Or it would be 6:30 in Edmonton. Okay, a 6:30 start in Edmonton against the Blues doesn't make who are you catering to
should
there?
never be starting before 7 p.m. When there are 7 p.m. local time when there are 2 games on the schedule.
Unless you are a West Coast team.
As I said, local time.
Local. No, I'm saying like I'll do like a 5 or 6 West Coast is okay every now and then because they're used to having all
I
the
guess.
early starts.
No, not if there's 2 games on the schedule
Yeah, if there's 2, I mean
on a weekday.
tonight's structure, it's a bad structure.
We had a home game because we were the second game in TNT against the Minnesota Wild. That can't miss appointment television.
Wasn't it the Edmonton game? That was pushed back to like 8:52.
Well, that was earlier, but
Yeah.
this was more recent. The Connor Bedardless Chicago Blackhawks versus the Minnesota Wild, and puck drop wasn't until like 8:47 local time for 2 central time zone teams. It was just insane, but I guess
That one I'm totally cool with because there's nothing that will be more effective in putting me to sleep than watching the Connor Bedard with Chicago Blackhawks and the Minnesota Wild.
May I ask?
that
I'm
was the
asking for
Foligno
Sean.
versus Foligno night.
Did Brock Faber have any points in that game?
But his plus minus was out of this world,
Yeah.
which we all
He
know.
really,
is
he
the-
really played a lot of minutes. It was cool.
I love the tone behind that.
I'm not getting this.
He's like being sarcastic.
Saying like I don't care about
he
this.
played a lot of minutes. It was great. His plus
Well,
minus was
that's
awesome.
the
Out
argument
of this
that
world.
the people that are saying that Brock Faber should be considered for the Calder, that has become the argument. Like, look at his plus minus.
yeah.
Look at the time on ice.
The key points are look at how many minutes he plays and look at what his plus minus is as a 21-year-old defenseman. Yeah.
Do me a favor
Sweet.
and
I asked
go to
how many
hell.
points he had for real.
How many? He
Now that we're done with
is
joke
what,
time,
second
How many
in points?
points did he have?
In
I
that
think he's
game, he
second.
didn't have any points in that
Yeah,
game.
no, none.
Because he doesn't get points.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how many plus minus highlight reels are out there, but I got to think he might be the first.
Correction, he gets points. He only gets points when Connor Bedard is not playing hockey.
That's right. And then once he feels the heat, he pisses.
Turn him off. Turn him off. The lights are too bright.
Donald Trump as Brock Faber.
He was president once.
Yes.
All right, fellas, we love having you on. What's
Good.
coming up this week, next week that you want to give people a heads up on the What Chaos Show?
Brock Faber joins the show tomorrow.
How long is he going to be on the
That'll be
show?
Smash subscribe. There was a heated discussion today about Aiden Hill's skate blade, and I hope everybody can check that out. Smash subscribe on the What Chaos YouTube. I dropped the link in there maybe 8 minutes ago, and we'll have a trade deadline special next week as well.
Yeah, we have a
So-
trade deadline special next week. Before we get out of here, can we ask you guys this question? What's worse from an optical standpoint if you're a grown man and you have you're presented with an opportunity to maybe walk through sand? Would you rather be lifted up and carried by other grown men, or would you rather walk through the sand and then have the grown men clean your feet afterwards? What's a better optical thing?
Okay, so those are the only options. I can't just walk through and deal with the sand myself.
I mean, that's what a grown man would do.
You're a grown man.
You have two grown men on either side of you, and they're going to help you one way or another. They're either going to pick you up and carry you, and you're going to be photographed, or you have to walk through, and then they're going to clean your feet, and you're going to be photographed doing that.
I would say, for me, I'd like to be carried because it would be comedic value of two people trying to lug me through sand. And I can kind of play it up and do like the stately wave, that sort of a thing. But having people tend to my sandy feet, no.
I'm getting carried because I hate people touching my feet.
I say dust
Sean's
off my feet, peasants.
Sean's very happy about all this.
All right, well, I guess we got to go now.
Pete wants the boys on his feet.
Wait, before you go, something you guys have introduced that we love is the like spike. Can you talk our audience through the concept of a like spike so we can steal it from you?
Only if you get us 7 subscriptions on YouTube. We need 7 of your people. 7 for the great Brent Seabrook. We want 7. Okay.
Yeah, Chelios has had his moment now. Piss on him.
Everett Santa Pass is numbered, and we all know it.
I don't remember Brent Seabrook killing it with the Red Wings. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. And the Thrashers. All I'm saying. All right, Pete, do a like spike for me.
The concept of the like spike is that when the numbers get high in the stream, you want as many likes on the YouTube video as you can possibly get. So you just say 3, 2, 1, like spike, and you have everybody who's currently watching right now just hit that like button. And it is a proven effective strategy because our likes have been skyrocketing over the past week and a half. So everybody who's in this chat right now, it's time for the like spike. Hit that thumbs up, baby. Give us a like. See,
Boom.
Law knows what he's doing. He just threw the Tommy Hawk give us a like thing as soon as I did that.
All right, well, we got 1, so there's 2. Thank you guys. Awesome.
See, we used to last season we bribed. We did a tankathon
We would do
lottery
tank
spins at the end of every episode, and we would bribe people. If we get 50 more likes by the end of the show, we'll give you an extra spin. But we're not doing the spins this year because we were like, this season isn't going to be about the number 1 overall pick. Aha, we were proven wrong pretty quick. But, yeah, so we need to find another way to bribe people to like the show.
Also, when you have the best odds at the number 1 pick, why spin the wheel? You're just setting yourself up for disaster.
Yeah. Check this out. We're not leaving until we get 4 more subs on YouTube. The link is in there. I think you already put that in there.
Yes.
Go subscribe to
Come on,
What Chaos.
chatters.
You won't regret
YouTube,
it.
you said that as like a sign-off type of thing. It's not a sign-off type of thing. We're not leaving until we get 4 more subs.
Yeah, all day.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's
no
all right.
worries.
We're about to do a Monster Jam ad read. You want to stick around for that?
I'm hitting refresh until I get the figure I want.
That's fine.
Yeah, stick around. You guys can hang out.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
fine.
do an ad read. We're just going to sit there. Do an ad read.
All right. Yeah.
I've already subscribed from all my burner accounts, so I can't do anything to
Not
help
like
you.
an ad read. Do an ad read. Will, just please subscribe. Be like
right.
Jay. What a guy.
Go for it.
Well, Pete and DJ, are you guys Monster Jam fans?
Sure.
Yes.
I need more energy than that. I gotta feed off of it. You big monster truck guys.
Woo! Yeah.
Shout out Gravedigger.
I do know Gravedigger.
Everybody knows Gravedigger.
Damn, y'all.
Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Earthshaker, Black Panther, Black Pearl, and all the other colored named Monster Jams. You can see them this weekend at the
still
ALLCITY
February,
Arena for the
brother.
most You're interrupting my Monster Jam read. This is what happens when you guys don't subscribe in time. The things just go off the rails.
This could have not been happening.
Yeah, that's true. The most unexpected, unscripted, and unforgettable motorsports experience for family and fans in the world today returns to Chicagoland for an adrenaline-charged weekend at the All-State Arena. From March 1st through the 3rd this weekend, the world's best drivers show off crazy skills and all-out racing in fierce head-to-head battles for the event championship. Engineered to perfection, the 12,000-pound Monster Jam trucks push all the limits in freestyle, skills, donuts, and racing competitions. The Arena Series West champion will receive a highly coveted automatic bid to the prestigious Monster Jam World Finals to compete for the title of world champion. See world-class athletes in action performing the craziest stunts in all of motorsports. Experience big-time family fun at Monster Jam. Unexpected, unscripted, unforgettable. This is Monster Jam. See it live at the All-State Arena, March 1st through the 3rd this weekend. The link for tickets is in the description.
Brother.
Well done.
There you go.
Breaking news. We have some breaking news.
Breaking news. Woo, woo, woo. Trade Center, breaking news. What's the news, Pete?
Richard Lewis died.
Rest in peace, Richard Lewis.
Oh,
no.
That is quite
Gone.
the
Oh, no.
That's what happens when you don't spike those likes.
Please.
Wow. That is
When you don't subscribe to what cast, comedians from the 80s die.
Damn.
that's a bummer.
What can- so we can
Someone
say bye.
protect Bobcat Goldthwait.
That is
Please. I mean,
quite the bummer.
wait, Bobcat? What about Bobcat? Is he still
No,
going?
I'm saying we got to make sure we get the likes and subs so he doesn't
Yeah.
die.
1 like equals 1
If you don't subscribe, this will devolve into seemingly a speculative conversation about the fates of beloved entertainers.
We still have not gotten you 7 subs. This is concerning.
I'm going to be totally honest. I don't really have a way of knowing whether we got the 7 subs. I can just fucking tell.
All right, well, stick around. You guys can. I'll do a Coors Light read. It's not gonna be as exciting as Monster
like-
Jam, but
Could be.
There's like 2 or 3 people that are like, should I do it? Should I do it? If just do it, we'll be able to tell just off of energy and vibes. And
right.
Subscribing to a YouTube channel is not one of the hardest decisions you'll make in one day.
right.
It shouldn't be that hard.
Well, here's a nice transition. Ready for this, fellas?
Yeah.
A good decision I always make
Pour one out for Richard Lewis.
is when I want to chill. I crack open a nice cold Coors Light
That's true.
because it is cold, it is refreshing. I can drink many of them and still feel like I want to live. It's wonderful. Big fan of the Coors Light, and when we're unwinding after a stressful another Blackhawks overtime loss,
Another Blackhawks 3-1 loss.
Don't talk to us about overtime losses. We live in Boston.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you guys can kick back with a nice Coors Light as well, because it's always good to take the edge off after a
don't
long
drink.
night, or you're chilling with your bros. You know what I mean? You guys know what I'm talking about. You want to crack open a nice Coors Light. It's perfect for embracing the chill. And when those mountains turn blue, you know it's as cold as the Rockies. Coors Light is cold, lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When it's time to chill, open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Go to Instacart and get Coors Light delivered straight to your door right now. CoorsLight.com/CHGO Hockey. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Light Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. All right, well, fellas, you were
beer to suck down after you've just cleaned off the feet of all your homies with the Sandy.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Is that? But I missed.
true.
Is this the DJ Khaled thing? My wife kind of mentioned this.
Yeah,
in passing.
yeah.
Can someone help me? What is it that he does?
He's a music producer.
He's a producer, and then he just goes on songs and says his name over and over again, right?
Yeah.
It's his tag.
Yeah, you say
the
that like
best.
it's a confusing thing.
Well,
Like, he's gamed the system.
His fame seems way
it's the
higher
same
than it
thing
should
with
be
Jay-
for what
Jay,
he
It's the
does.
same thing that P. Diddy used to do before he started killing everybody.
May I ask you a question?
Allegedly. Sorry.
Yeah.
What's your bag musically? Who do you like to take in, Jay?
Oh boy.
I'm not gonna say.
much time
I
do you
hate to
have?
say everything. I like everything, but my favorite current bands are The National, Murder by Death. I've really gotten into Future Islands lately. Greg and I are going to see Metallica in the summer. Like,
Wow, thanks for the
it's kind of
invite.
wide
Ah.
ranging. You were right there. We were talking about it
When?
at the game.
You know I can't hear your conversations.
Okay, so you
Another
just
one.
all right. So you just named Metallica. Metallica
Yeah.
has worked with a producer named Rick Rubin.
Yes.
Rick Rubin is the ultimate what does that guy do producer. It's just that he doesn't also yell DJ Khaled. So he doesn't get those allegations tossed his way. There are some producers who really get in the weeds, who help write the song, arrange it, make it great. There's other producers who just like hang out, don't know how to do anything, and they're like, let's just have a good time. DJ Khaled is one of those producers. He's Rick Rubin.
Well, the difference between DJ Khaled and Rick Rubin is I've actually listened to stuff Rick Rubin's produced. At least I know I have.
I mean,
I couldn't tell you one song.
Pretty
Rubin's
good
done
DJ
awesome
Khaled stuff. Back in the day, Khaled had it.
Yeah, Wild Thoughts. That's a good one.
All right, I was honestly asking, because I'm old. I don't know. I'm 46, so it's passed me by. All right, well, while you guys are here, why don't you hear from Luke Richardson? You guys can hear what he had to say about the Seth Jones overtime non-goal Patrick Kane game winner. You want to hear that?
I think we're going to be here. No, I think we're going to be here a while. So you play what you need to play.
Go ahead.
Let's fire it up.
There's been a lot of conversation about that overtime goal that Kane scored and who did what correctly and incorrectly. How would you break down the way that final play went?
Well, I think, if you can categorize better goals against in overtime, the game before, I think we didn't make a correct decision when we went in. I think it was against, was it Winnipeg? Yeah, it was Connor's goal. So Nick kind of went in. He tried to hold on to the puck. I think he's got to, and he tried to deke through down low. Very low percentage play to try and make something offensive happen. He needs to pull out of there and use the rules that people don't like of coming back and maybe taking another run at it and see if you get a better chance to get that grade A chance. Until you get that grade A chance, I think you take your time and you hold the puck and you make your changes and get fresh guys out there and try and get them tired. That was a grade A chance for me, for Seth in there. And could he have given it to Khrushchev? That opened up for one time, maybe, but he's a right-handed and he's on his forehand and he's in the prime scoring area. So it didn't go in. So we're gonna say that there could be other options. But if it went in, everybody would have said, "Yeah, you're in the prime score area. You did the right thing and you shot it." But because it didn't go in, it still counts as a prime scoring area for us. That's the right decision, is to take it to the net and shoot it. Unfortunately, Kaner was behind the play. And he knew he couldn't help on the defense, so he just hung there hoping that he got the save. And that would have been the same thing if Peter made the save the other way and we had two fresh guys coming on the ice behind because they were exhausted and changed. It would have worked out, but those are just ifs and would-haves right out.
Yeah, so that's a sentiment of the 3-on-3, right?
It is.
Because
as soon as you open up,
Bedard or Courage have to go
Yeah.
to be aware and race back to center ice. Right?
Well, they're trying to score, and you're
Yeah.
trying to win in overtime. So they're both on both sides. As one timer, the guy, the defenseman flexes out, kind of takes Connor away because they're probably worried about him being the most dangerous guy. And the other guy played a 2-on-1, and Seth decided to take it to the net and got two shots off it, basically a shot and a close rebound. And then DeBrincat scooped up the puck and went the other way. So we'll say, compared to the Winnipeg game, it's a step in the right direction. We took the right decision. We made the right decision shooting in the prime scoring area, but didn't work out. And you're right. When overtime is patient and it goes back and forth, and crowds getting grumbly and they're getting impatient, but once you make your first strike, it's either a goal and a celebration, or you're going to start trading chances back and forth, and that's what happened.
Luke Richardson and his intense eye contact. You guys probably don't know that about him. If you ask him a question, he stares you in the eye the entire 4 minutes he answers it.
There are some serial killer qualities to Luke Richardson. One of them, something I found out this week, is that he's just obsessed with eating all bran.
Yes.
Instead of like bran flakes, instead of corn flakes, just all bran, just full bran bowls, and will take them on the road with him to visiting cities just in case they don't have it.
I call him Luke Richardson because this guy's got to be regular as fuck.
He's a little too regular.
Yeah.
He's a guy who is obsessed with apparently his physicality, being in the gym, and just coaching a hockey team that refuses to touch anybody from the other team.
And no iPads.
Yeah.
No
and
iPads.
to be honest with
No
you,
screen time.
He is incredibly fit. And if it was overtime, Game 7 of the playoffs, I would take him over probably 2/3 of the current Blackhawks defensemen to keep the puck out of the net, because he's out there and he skates with those guys, and he can hold his own. Like
he's still a workhorse for a guy at a higher age than I. I mean it's worked for him.
Can you name a former Blackhawks defenseman who is currently an NHL head coach?
Former Blackhawks defenseman who is a current NHL head coach
is Bruce Cassidy, right?
Yeah,
It'd be Bruce Cassidy.
Yep.
Yeah, they're good buddies. They're good buddies, Bruce and Luke.
I could see that. I could see anybody who met Bruce Cassidy being good buddies with him. He's the nicest guy. Here's my concern. I think that you're enjoying, meaning the listeners and subscribers, this so much that you're willfully not subscribing because we get what we want, we peace out.
You've made the
So,
segment too good.
I don't know
It's
where
an
that
ultimate
leaves us.
backfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people don't want to navigate away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this was your plan. So what do we do?
They need to open a new tab, unless they're on their phone.
The 7 subscriber, that was your idea.
No,
We said we'd get you 7 subscribers. We didn't say right now.
at this point.
We've gained 800 subscribers since this, but no, so like 132 people in there right now. I see no reason, including the fact that they could already be subscribed.
That's
why
what a
we
lot of
can't
them are
get
saying. You're preaching to the wrong
120
audience
right now.
Yeah, we'll tweet it from like the Cubs and Bears accounts. That'll help you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you.
Could you get us on those shows? I have
We'll
a plan.
get you on we'll get you a spot on the Bears show and like that. I
Yeah.
mean, those guys get like 6,000 live viewers a day. So
Oh, here's what we got to
We have
do.
Weston Fields takes.
I was gonna say, if you want to do draft strategy talk,
That's
I
it.
can.
All right,
do
you
that
guys
with
were at the
Weston.
Super Bowl. You're
Yeah.
football experts. We'll get you a spot on there this week.
That's right.
I've
And
been
what-
to more Super Bowls than the Bears.
You got
Well, most people have.
any baseball thoughts on Cody Bellinger? You'll get some subscribers from there too.
I mean, if it's not about the penises being shown, I don't totally care about baseball right now.
That's
fair.
True. That's fair.
Wait till
I mean,
next year when Fanatics gets a hold of these NHL jerseys.
Oh,
We're gonna be
yeah.
seeing a lot of dong.
Those
can't
Buffalo
wait.
Sabres white breezers are going to be a problem.
I can't wait.
Oh
It'll be
my
great.
goodness.
You're going to see Tage Thompson, more of him you've ever seen.
I mean,
I hope so.
All right,
mean,
so
that's
Luke, I just wanted to play that Luke audio so the three of us can dunk on people.
Yeah,
That's basically the
it's-
purpose of asking that question.
It's on the internet now, so
And I want to
yeah,
get your
take
guys'
grass in our face a little bit. You guys are wrong, right? They were wrong.
Yeah, and
The
I
show
want
did
to.
the
I
right
want
thing.
your opinion, fellas. That I did not lead him into his answer when I asked the question. I said there's been a lot of conversation about who did what right and who did what wrong. Can you talk us through the overtime game winner? That was not a leading question. I didn't
A little
say
bit you let
Seth
him.
Jones did the right thing, right? No, I left it. I left it vague.
You let him a little bit. You said, what do you say to the people who question Seth Jones's shot choice there? You let him a little bit.
All right, fair. That's fair.
Well, but I did appreciate how he, like, said, "Hey, the game before Nick Foligno, who he loves and everybody loves,
Yep.
did the wrong thing. So this time we did the right thing." So he kind of like prefaced it saying, like, "I'm not always just going to stick up for my guys. This guy did the wrong thing last game, so we did the right thing this time. And because we just having a season from hell, even when we do the right thing, it's the wrong thing."
it's almost as if he's had that conversation before with the team.
About 63 times.
I don't like him throwing Nick Foligno under the bus.
Yeah, you
Nick
insulted him a
Foligno
little
gets
bit.
Nick Foligno gets to decide what's right and wrong because Nick Foligno rocks.
Yeah, he's the coach now.
Well, he's joining us post game. Right after the game tomorrow, he's going to be on our post game show, so we'll tell him all about it.
I'm sure he's going to be in a
Really?
great mood after Blackhawks and Avalanche.
Tell him to
Could we tap
subscribe
in?
to the What Chaos YouTube.
Yeah, could we tap it? He had very nice things to say about this show and its general vibe and idea. Could we tap into that conversation? I have a plan on something that we could do on the stream.
Well,
Sure, I'll send you guys the same link, and we'll have a trio box, and it'll all be seamless, right, Law?
I won't be here, so good luck.
Okay, that'll be other producers'
It
problem.
will be
Yeah,
real,
we'll be.
like
In
what,
fact, longer than you may think. I don't know, not to shoot my wad on the
I don't know. I think if we had all of us on with Nick, if we had all of us on with Nick, it's be the last time Nick will ever call in.
I do think, though, we should, when we have him in studio for a non-post game, we should have you guys pop in and say hi. I'm down for that. That would be
Absolutely.
fun.
Yeah.
We love
If
it.
you have him in studio, we'll physically come and see him.
I mean,
say hi.
Pete's
He's
here
here
like
every
half
other
the time
week anyway,
yeah.
so it might just
I
line
know.
up.
We got
I'm there
every
every
Foligno
week.
booked twice a month. Once in studio, once calling in for post game. So his next time will be an in studio session. It'll be his third time in studio. He's
Tell us
our
the
guy.
day.
Brother, I will be
We'll
there
be
no
there.
matter
Yeah.
what.
All right.
Sweet.
We will
All
let
right.
you know.
Bye. Don't forget to subscribe, everybody.
I like that you were just about to say, we'll let you go. Like
No, I
we
said we'll
haven't
let you
had
know.
the ultimate say in the matter here this
No,
entire time.
you're good. You guys, whenever you're welcome to stay, you're welcome
We'll
to go.
leave the set and you guys can keep going.
You're
That's
actually
fine.
you're leaving? What's going on?
Absolutely, we'll do that.
We'll leave the lights on for you.
It's like one of
Yeah.
those radiothons. You stay on for 24 straight hours.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Thank you so
All right.
much. We
We
love
love
you.
you.
All right, love you,
Thank
mean it.
you.
Bye.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Subscribe, everyone, to What Chaos.
For the love of God.
Yeah, go to YouTube, subscribe to What Chaos. Make sure you follow on the podcast too. Pete and DJ and Sean do an awesome job. Honestly, it is quickly my favorite sports podcast. I do not miss an episode. It's very rare I miss an episode.
I don't know what I get more a kick out of. Their amazing mastery of sarcasm and humor, or to this day, people who think they're serious.
It's yes.
There are so many people who think still that they're being serious. Like
Yes,
you
does-
know when
does
they're
William
being
Nylander
serious.
hate the troops was not a
Right.
sincere
Like,
question.
You know when they're being serious, which is like 4% of the time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yep.
Those
I
guys
very
are
much
great.
enjoy the show.
Those guys are
I
great.
very much do. Who's talking about the cleaners again? Is that me or is
No,
that
that's me.
Oh, go for it.
The guy that is an expert on getting food stains on shirts.
There you go.
I am a first ballot Hall of Famer.
That is a blue shirt he's wearing,
Yes.
everybody. It's a plain blue shirt.
It was.
But he went to lunch.
And I had some Dippin' Dots for lunch, and all hell broke loose.
Ice cream of the future.
So when I do get all kinds of weird stains on my shirts, the first place I turn to is CD One Price Cleaners. Customers can save over 30% on their dry cleaning bill just by switching to CD One Price Cleaners. Other cleaners charge a different price for every garment type. Plus, they have upcharges or may make you pay a different price each time you visit. So maybe when you get mustard on your purple shirt, they charge you $6. The next time you get soy sauce on that purple shirt, and then they charge you $9, and you're like, what the heck? Well, at CD One Price Cleaners, guess how many prices they charge?
Is it one?
Just one.
Wow.
Not just clever advertisement. Yep, even for sports jerseys, the same one low price. CD One Price Cleaners has your order ready the same day or the next day. Other cleaners can take 2 to 4 days to have your clean garments ready. We don't have time for that.
Yeah,
CD
nobody got
One
time
Price
for
Cleaners
that.
will send you a text message and say, hey, your crap no longer has a mustard stain in it. Come get it.
We got the crap out of it.
Yes, and don't buy any more mustard. They offer such a wide variety of services: dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, blankets and comforters, tailoring and alterations, leather cleaning, and even area rug cleaners for when you spill mustard on your rug. So visit chgo.cd1, that's one.com. The link is in the description. You can click it right then and there. Once there, you can pick from an in-store coupon or online pickup and delivery coupon options. Once again, that's chgo.cdone.com.
Very convenient. Big fan of CD One Price Cleaners.
And if you're getting all this unruly mustard, I mean, you might as well invest in some CD1.
I like my
price cleaning.
spicy mustard, and sometimes my spicy mustard and I get in an argument, and it goes all over the place.
What's great is the CD One Price Cleaners in Homewood is right next to Harold's Chicken.
Perfect.
So I go in there, get some mild sauce
go
on my
s-
shirt,
just
like,
go
well, just tear it off Hulk style and bring it right in.
Go straight from... So what you're saying is they've seen you walk in shirtless many times.
Yeah, I'm like,
I need this cleaned.
I'm like
please.
Greg Braggs or Bert Kreischer. I'm just always shirtless walking into the cleaners like, hey, Jay, just leave it on the counter.
You had extra sauce on your chicken again, didn't you? Yep. All right. See
Very
you tomorrow.
convenient.
And you pull-
Speaking of convenient, game time.
very
Game
convenient.
time is the place to go if you're looking for those last minute tickets. Mario, I thought you heard me. I'm sorry.
Absolutely
But if you
not.
want to buy a single that comes
we
to
have
Metallica.
had zero conversation about Metallica in the
Oh,
last
Lord.
week.
Well, I'm a dick. Everyone knows that.
Oh, well.
But hey, game time. You'll be able to find a ticket
Yeah,
for
I
Metallica.
might
and-
just do it right now.
And
Let's
everything
see.
else on game time. You shouldn't have to worry, Mario, when you're buying tickets to Metallica or your next big event. Game time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. Look, I'm going to go off script here, okay, Law? Is that okay?
Oh boy.
Can I go off script?
Oh
a
my
little bit?
gosh, how dare you?
There's nothing more
The
evil.
first time today, we're going off script.
It's Metallica at Soldier Field?
Yeah, we're going night one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing more evil than these corporations that invent fees.
Oh, I hate fees.
Like, oh, your ticket's $100. Okay, I'm going to get 3 tickets at $300. Sounds good. Yeah, maybe a little bit of tax, so like $330. Why is it $475?
Seriously,
What's a
what the hell?
processing fee? You're
Yeah.
sending me nothing.
yeah, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, you don't even get a fucking ticket anymore.
Whoa.
Sorry, you just got
way
into
off script.
As someone who has still saved all my ticket stubs from the 90s,
Yeah.
early 2000s, there is nothing more annoying than going to the Chris Chelios
Right.
ceremony and having a stupid frickin' thing on my phone, and that's it.
There's nothing for
You
you
get
to
a
do.
physical
You can
ticket.
buy the commemorative ticket.
Oh,
for
cool! I can
$10.
buy it. Amazing.
It's actually really
also
cool.
have the fees.
It is
great.
really cool. Yeah, I have one.
I did buy the Chelios game.
Yeah.
Virtual. Anyway,
It's a cool.
the
ticket.
point is,
it's worth the $10.
you want to pay what you think you're paying. And Game Time does that. With the ticket says, here's the price of ticket. Give me this many of them. And as Pete and DJ always say, you get as many as you want. They don't surprise you with a number. Just get your tickets there, and you're going to know. Peace of mind. This is the fee I'm paying. And when you're not sure, like, hey, I've never been to this venue before. Maybe you want to go check out the Hawks on the road somewhere. You want to go to Nationwide Arena, and you want to make sure you're not sitting underneath the cannon. You can use that view from your seat and know, okay, my eardrums are not going to burst out of my head. I have a safe seat at Nationwide Arena to see the ass jackets. Go to Game Time. Start an account. GameTime.co is the website, but download the app. That's the easiest way to do it. Create an account and use the code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Where are your guys' seats?
What are we, 305?
30 something, 30
Somewhere in that area.
305, 307.
We'll smuggle you in.
Jay, you brought up the National. Are you
Yes.
going to see the National and the War on Drugs at the United Center?
Yes, I secured those tickets yesterday as well.
Are you
I
in the-
found a pre-sale code.
You and all the other.
Are you in the
sad
pit?
dads.
Are you in the pit?
Oh,
in
no,
the
I'm
pit.
too old for the pit.
Oh, I am too old, but
There's
I'm
a
in the
pit
pit.
for a national.
Well, it's just
show?
like a GA
Oh, okay.
floor. And
No, I
and-
don't do floors anymore.
Well, yeah, but when Matt
Everybody-
Berninger
does
is
everybody wear-
walking around,
Does everybody wear New Balance in the pit
I'll
at a
probably have
national
Pumas
show?
on myself. I don't know.
no, I'm not. No, I don't do
I'll
standing
wave to
anymore.
you. I'll wave to you.
When we went to see Murder by Death and Laura Jane Grace, about 30 minutes into Murder by Death set, I'm like, oh, my back. I need one of those little portable chairs the old people bring with them.
Sure.
It's like a walker that turns into a chair. I'm very close to one of those. I'm
You
down
need
for that.
you need those chair pants from that jury duty show.
Chair pants would be great. I don't know if they let you into the Metro with chair pants, but I would try it. We're getting to the shows
try it.
now, though.
Chair Pants sounds like the worst He-Man character ever.
Chair
oh
pants.
no, it's Chair Pants.
Chair pants.
It's
All right,
Moss
so-
Man and Chair Pants. Watch out.
We are close to the end of the show.
Yes.
We
Oh, yeah,
we
that's
have
right.
Cubs coming up soon here. I got to take that.
Yeah, what do we need to do?
Well, we have a couple super chats.
Oh, yeah, let's get
Let's
those.
do super chats.
Yes, they
so
paid
let's-
for him. We should.
Yeah,
be serious,
Sam
guys.
Gann. Sam Gann? Sam Gann?
Sam Gann.
Sam Gann, related to Chair Pants.
$9.99. I really like Seth Jones, and I always think it would be beneficial for Bedard if we still had Kane on the team. Here's $10 for the Kane jar.
All right. Yeah, all right.
Actually, that's $9.99 for the Cane.
Yeah, it was
You're a penny
Yeah.
short.
We threw in
where's-
an extra $5.
Where are the fees? But yeah, here's another $5 to add. Just wanted to make it clear that the Venn diagram of Jones haters and bring back Caners is not just.
Let me be clear on the Patrick Kane thing, okay?
For the 4,000.
I just want to make sure
clear.
that I'll speak for myself. I think I speak for both of you. If July 1st, 2024, the Blackhawks sent an email that said the Blackhawks have agreed to a 3-year deal with Patrick Kane, cool. I'm down for it. Like, he can come here and, yes, he makes the team better. He helps Connor Bedard. He's a franchise legend. Great. I just think the reason that they're not is perfectly logical and reasonable, where they want new leadership to emerge. And don't forget, of course, Patrick Kane's going to say, I would have loved to be a Hawk for life. Yeah. Everybody's going to say that. Do you think he's going to say, no, I wanted my ass to get out of here as soon as possible? He chose to leave. They said to him, remember, early last season, Kyle Davidson said, we will not approach him about a trade. He has to come to us. when the Rangers traded for Tarasenko, it seemed like that ship had sailed. All of a sudden, something changed, and it was a very fast opportunity. And Kyle Davidson said, do you want us to do this or not? And he said, yes. That's it. There was no force out. There was no blocking out. That's not what happened. So, again, if they bring him back someday, cool, fine. But they've made it very clear they're looking to take the organization in a different direction and allow for the new leadership to emerge. And with Patrick Kane there, it is not as easy, or Taves, it is not as easy for new leadership to emerge.
Connor Bedard's team.
Just look at how different Seth Jones is this year versus the last two with Kane and Taves here. He is a different guy without them here.
Even if Kane and Taves were still here, we wouldn't have Nick Foligno leader as we do.
Right.
Because he'd be afraid of stepping on Kane and Taves' toes.
Yes.
So it is what it is. It's the Blackhawks as an organization moved on. We all need to follow along. It's okay.
We're not
okay.
saying move on from your adoration for Patrick Kane and his time in Chicago. We're not saying that, hey, fuck this guy. Like, it's not what we're saying. And I feel like people think that we're being like, oh, piss on Patrick Kane.
No, not at all.
That's not what we're saying. It's
Well, he
just
does play for the Red Wings.
It's piss on them in general.
it's piss on Detroit, yeah.
Well,
Right.
he's part of that.
But it's just that the organization is making a decision to go in a different direction.
Yep.
And that can be fine.
Yes.
It
It is
happens
fine.
all the time.
Yep.
Eventually, Patrick Kane wasn't going to be a Blackhawk anymore in one way, shape, or form. So that's just where we're at now. And if he had stayed around, it's very likely that Connor Bedard wouldn't even be here. So the idea of Kane and Bedard together wouldn't even be a reality. So I don't know.
All right, we got to go. Bye. We'll see you tomorrow after Hawks and Avalanche.
Yes.
Remember, Nick Foligno joining us post-game, so do not miss tomorrow's post-game show. Yes?
Well, just one last thing. We got a few hours left in our clearance sale
Yeah.
at
Buy
the
our
CHGO
merch.
locker. 30% off almost everything in the store, in the locker.
merch.
Please go purchase some things because we love you and we want to see you at the next Die Hard event.
Yes. March
some of our
26th,
merch.
Hawks and Flames. Those tickets are already more than halfway gone.
Let's
Limited
go.
tickets.
So if you're a
available.
diehard, you got to act today to get those tickets to our takeover. Do it, do it, do it. Do not be left behind. 100 level seats for our United Center takeover against the Calgary Flames. I believe March 26th is right.
March
Yeah, that's
26th.
right.
Yes.
It's a Tuesday night.
AllCHGO.com for the diehard event. CHGOLocker.com to save on the merch. Do them both today. Save yourself a buttload of money.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you tomorrow after Hawks and Avs on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.